Minister of Wellness Ministries and Rock Newman Show 2.0 present free community health fair and seminar Saturday, March 18th, 2023 at Union Temple Baptist Church, Washington, D.C. RSVP before we reach capacity, dmvhealthfair.eventbrite.com or click the link in the description box. If you can't make it in person, no worries. You can purchase the live stream link by visiting theministerofwellness.com under healing services, or once again, just click that link in the description box. Calling all potential vendors, sponsors, or volunteers, please submit a contact form via theministerofwellness.com or call 888-847-8026. That's 888-847-8026. It's high time for a health revolution. So the issue continues to be, brothers and sisters, that we just don't, we're so far away from how we should be consuming. We're just so far away. And we just have a lot to learn. But in that learning process, I don't want anybody to be discouraged. I just want you to always be in the mindset of learning and be always willing to grow. This is Eat Your Fruits, Juice Your Vegetables, and Take Your Herbs, Part 4. And this is it won't be, I don't believe it'll take 12 parts. This is pretty much the upgraded / replacement. I'll say upgraded of the power of the G-bombs. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. I don't want to say the replacement because the G-bombs don't need to be replaced, because at some point, most likely, you're going to want to have a cooked meal and you need delicious recipes. And that's why the books, Biblical Principles That Eradicate Obesity and All Disease and Lose 100 Pounds in 100 Days books will always be valid and will always be necessary. Okay, just in case. But what we're talking here is just a quicker way to healing and the highest form of eating as humans. And the highest form of eating is the raw fruit in its natural state, completely uninhibited. And 100% is that you're growing it yourself and that you go right out there really in the earth with no shoes on. Because even that's medicinal. And you go out and you pick the fruit straight from the earth, straight from the tree, and you put it right in your mouth. And then thousands of years ago, we was even consuming a little bit of soil residue. That's how we received our vitamin B12. Now we have to triple wash everything. And so we don't get vitamin B12 from our food. And these idiots tell us we have to get it from meat. That's stupid. No, all you need to do is just take a supplement, such as the Minister of Wellness B12. So we want to, a lot of things, they have just jumbled everything together, brothers and sisters. There's a difference between fruits. You have your fruits, your tubers, and then you have your vegetables. Tubers are roots that are so nutritious, they will sprout their own plants and feed those plants with their nutrients. Man, the Most High is amazing. Tubers gather nutrients from the soil around them. You don't even have to plant a tuber in the ground for it to grow. If you leave a potato that's a tuber out on the kitchen counter, it will sprout without water or outside nutrition. Tubers also have a generally very appealing taste to humans. Why? Because they're high in sugar. And they're easily digested when cooked, and also contain prebiotic fiber, which is great for human intestinal flora. So you have your squashes, which are really a type of fruit, your pumpkins, your potatoes, your yams, and so forth. They are extremely nutrient dense, and they are very high in sugar, the sugar that we need. The problem is that you have to cook those. You do have to cook those. And when I say the problem, when I say problem, what I mean is that, again, it won't be alkaline because the heat destroys the electricity, but it's still extremely healthy, extremely nutrient dense. And if you're an athlete and you're working out very, very hard, definitely will be a place in there to have some tubers, even if that means you have to cook them. Quick way to get tons of calories and protein and so forth is through those tubers. So again, when it comes to your vegetables, they're super nutritious, but they are not necessary for health. They're not necessary for health. As far as the tubers are concerned, I don't believe that potatoes are necessary either. I don't believe that anything that we have to cook per se is necessary for our health. You can get the raw fruits, the strict raw fruits is the highest level. And then it will be the cooked tubers, and then it would be the vegetables. Why? Because we're talking about digestion. Always remember the key word, absorbability. Absorbability. You can be extremely healthy by getting your nutrients from fruits and tubers, and you'll live a ripe old age without ever eating another bitter leaf of kale again. It's been a long time since I've eaten kale. Long time. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've consumed kale. And my digestive system is better. The last time I did a couple salads, it constipated me, meaning that it slowed me down. And I don't like anything that slows me down. Why? Why did the kale slow me down? Everything that I've talked about. Of course, if you're watching this and you have not watched the other three, you need to stop the video and watch the other three parts. A lot of you just video hop. You don't have any discipline to watch an entire series. You video hop. That's why you have the videos have different views. Why would certain videos in the same series have more views than others? So only a few of you all will actually watch all the videos and study all the videos to get the full understanding of why I don't consume kale anymore. And if I ever do, I will be juicing it because of the phytotoxins in it and the anti-nutrients in it and the complex carbohydrates and the complex fibers that makes it more difficult to break down. Unless you have the physiological structure of an herbivore to grind it until it's liquid in the mouth. Why go through all of that when you can just run it through a juicer? And then the fruits will give you just as much power, and you don't have to go through all that headache of having a sore jaw from chewing for a whole hour just to consume a salad. Let's talk about kale. I did a video on kale. I did a video on kale. And it got a lot of views. So let's talk about kale. Kale is not fit for human consumption unless you run it through a juicer. Yet people have been swindled into thinking that it's healthy. In fact, the kale fat has done more harm than good, and in such an underhanded way that most people won't even realize it's the kale that's giving them issues. Let's examine some facts about kale. Kale, far before being widely consumed by the sheeple, it was actually the food for literal sheep. It was actually a food for literal sheep. And let me tell you something. This is humbling for me to say all this, brothers and sisters. You are listening to the voice of a man that ate so much kale. I used to wear a shirt that said kale is the new beef. Well, I'm going to have to change that shirt. No, fruits is the new beef. Grapes with seeds in it is the new beef. Again, Walmart. Check your local Walmart. I picked up a couple big boxes of grapes with seeds in them at the local Walmart. We have several of them here in St. Louis. Let me give you all a hint. If you go into the Walmarts in the higher scale neighborhoods and communities, where the more higher scale / rich people live, most likely they're going to be getting a steady supply of the grapes with seeds in them. So yeah, real sheep. Farmers were feeding kale to their sheep as an alternate food source. Yet they started to realize that the lambs were being born with a goiter, a swollen and properly functioning thyroid gland. Researchers experimented with kale on sheep and rabbits with disturbing results. Turns out kale contains a goitrogen called thiocyanate, which is chemically very similar to deadly cyanide. Some young lambs were born stillborn, their brain development stunted by their goiters. The consumption of kale had blocked their thyroid's ability to function properly, even in the presence of proper iodine consumption. While many modern people consume little iodine, it's no wonder the instances of hypothyroidism are rising every year. Meanwhile, kale is being turned into every type of junk food imaginable. Yeah, now kale. You got kale chips, kale shakes. This anti-thyroid leafy vegetable is going to do some real damage if not exposed, especially when they processing it. Scientists, when they first started studying kale, never considered that humans would someday consider kale a health food. Back then, it was only food for livestock. But even though people weren't noshing on kale chips all day, kale managed to poison them. Cows grazing on kale transferred its poisons to their milk, affecting the thyroid development of children who drank it and caused an epidemic of goiter. Wow. Kale is also rich in sulfur and compounds that convert to sulfur, which is the chemical that makes rotten eggs smell putrid. See? And I knew that, boy. When I got done eating that kale, you didn't want to come in that bathroom after me. I was like, who's that? Jim Witherspoon on Friday. Jim Witherspoon, don't nobody come in the bathroom for about 45 minutes. And it's not supposed to be like that. If you eating healthy, then it shouldn't take a whole hour for your stench to go away. But it did. The kale, it was, and I would chop it in little bitty, but I don't miss it. I don't miss eating all that kale, and it eventually moved through me, but it was unnatural. Now, since I look back at it, brothers and sisters, since I look back on my 3-pound kale salad eating days, it just was unnatural. It just was unnatural. I recommend any recipes that contain kale that you replace that kale with more water-based leafy green vegetables such as romaine lettuce, your regular lettuces, your green lettuces, and then watercress. That's what I would highly recommend. And then, of course, small amounts of spinach, which has its own issues also. Or just skip it all together and have your delicious sweet fruit salad. That's what I prefer. That was always my favorite part. Now, since I think about it, my favorite part of eating was always the fruit. Always the fruit. Poor sulfur digestion is associated with many serious illnesses in humans, though whether it causes them or merely exasperates them remains to be seen. It makes sense that kale will be dangerous, given it evolved in an evolutionary war against those that dare to eat its leaves, from aurochs to insects. Vegetables don't want to be eaten. They produce phytotoxins. They don't want to be eaten. Again, true herbivores, they have to vomit. You all know what chewing the cud means? That means that the vegetables are so bitter and toxic to break down in the digestive system that true herbivores do what's called chewing the cud. They throw it back up. They do a basic chewing and digestion, then throw it back up and re-chew it again. Yuck. Well, that's pretty much the function of a juicer in a smoothie. One powerful weapon that it possesses is lectins. Remember, always keep this in mind. Vegetables don't want to be eaten. Fruits do. Fruits want you to eat them. Fruits are colorful. They like, come get me. Why do you think the satanic food industry makes everything colorful? Fruits want to be eaten. They're designed to be eaten. That's why they make themselves sweet and soft. Come get me. Then for those of you who are like, well, what about the melons? Well, you got to do some type of work. So, of course, back in the day, you just crack the melon and get to that inside of that fruit. Vegetables don't want to be, so they create lectins, which many people are now recognizing as a serious danger to human health, implicated in many autoimmune illnesses and other inflammatory disorders. Again, brothers and sisters, if you want to still consume kale, go right ahead. You just need to make sure that you're chewing it until it's liquid. But what I'm telling you that is not necessary. It's not necessary to go through that. You need to run it through a juicer or at least a smoothie. At least break it down in a smoothie. But I do not recommend, at this point, what I'm saying is that I highly recommend you cease all consumption of kale. And this is coming from the minister, well as the man who was the kale king and used to wear a shirt called Kale is the New Beef. No, grapes is the new beef. Juice the vegetables, brothers and sisters. The evolutionary role of leaves is not as benign as you may have first considered. Since leaves are constantly exposed to potential predators, the plants develop very effective chemical defense mechanisms against being eaten. This is supported by the fact that 12% of people 12 years of older in the U.S. have hypothyroidism, an underworking thyroid, with sources claiming upwards of 30%. If you have any thyroid issues at all, and I'll be doing a separate video on both thyroids and how the fruits can heal, I have to redo all of the videos. That will be for the rest of this month. I'm not doing any other health news segments unless it's an emergency for this month. This month is going to be focused strictly on getting this information out about what we should and shouldn't be eating, and about how the fruits can heal all of these different diseases. That is my singular focus for this month. And then as far as live streams are concerned, we will be picking back up with live streams. I will be doing daily scripture reading, and that's coming up soon. So again, brothers and sisters, it just makes more sense to eat something nutritious that will make you healthier and needs you to eat it. Fruit needs you to eat it. Black History Month health coaching special with me, your minister of wellness, brothers and sisters. I'll give you 30 minutes by video for just $75, and that's 55% off the regular cost. That's couples or individuals, male or female. 80% of all health resolutions are broken this month. That's why I created this fantastic opportunity to get personalized coaching via video with me, your minister of wellness, at an incredibly discounted price. So take advantage and book as many sessions as you need. As always, all coaching comes with a 25% complimentary store-wide discount code. theministerofwellness.com, theministerofwellness.com, 888-847-8026, 888-847-8026, or click the link in the pinned comment section. Fruits need you to eat it. So let's do that. And again, all I'm asking you is to try it out, brothers and sisters. That's all I'm asking. Do a clinical trial on yourself. I've done the clinical trials, and I am convinced that humans are true frugivores. By the way it moves, by the way it's absorbed, by the way it tastes, how easy it's digested and passes, the energy that it gives you. I'm still able to work out, train, lift weights. We are frugivores. Eat your fruits, juice your vegetables. If you're going to consume vegetables, I juice fruits. I do cucumbers and apples and other fruits. So I don't do vegetables at all at this point. But if you're going to juice the vegetables and then round it off by taking those herbs if you need extra healing, such as the ones we contain at the ministerofwellness.com online store. We're going to conclude this series for now in part 5 with another common sense point about vegetables versus fruits. We have everything you need to get started in your healing journey. We have 100 products on our online store, theministerofwellness.com, theministerofwellness.com on the store. Our very popular weight loss package, the books, of course, all of my health sermons on DVD, disease-fighting seaweeds, including Irish sea moss. The dulse seaweed will immediately help you with anemia. The Minister of Wellness herbal extracts. We have over 60 different powerful herbal extracts for every single condition. Our vitamins and minerals, and more. The ministerofwellness.com online store. Everything you need. High quality, organic. Make an investment in your health, in your healing today. The ministerofwellness.com, or call us. Help placing an order, questions, comments, or concerns. 888-847-8026. 888-847-8026. If you are someone you know, if you are actively being blessed by the Minister of Wellness Ministries, please click the link in the description box or go to theministerofwellness.com/give. And give a donation, brothers and sisters, to help us continue to reach and save as many of our people as possible. Sow a seed back to the ministry that has sowed a seed of life into your health. Thank you so much for being kind and helping us promote the truth about health. The Most High will richly bless you for helping us to continue to save lives. theministerofwellness.com/give, theministerofwellness.com/give for all the ways. Check out the description box, or you can send a quick Cash App donation to $Minister of Wellness, $Minister of Wellness.